Lucky you were born that far away, so we could both make fun of distance. Lucky that I love you for and for the lucky fact of your existence. Baby, I will climb the Andes solely to count the freckles on your body. Never could imagine there were only 10 million ways to love someone.
Well, next month is National Parenting Month, and we thought we'd give you a little jump start on it today because everybody always says, you know, the kids just don't come with a manual. Wouldn't it be great if they did and we'd know how to be perfect parents? Well, we've got the next best thing. It's a manual of sorts that our next guest has put together that really has a very interesting foundation, a biblical foundation, a faith-based foundation. So let's talk to Crystal Lutton this morning and her daughter Fiona. How are you, Fiona?
Good.
Good. Are you glad to be here?
Mm-hmm.
You have how many kids?
5.
5 kids.
Yes.
And you're the only daughter?
Yes.
What's it like growing up with all those boys?
Hard.
Yeah. Yeah, a bit of a challenge?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's your favorite?
I don't have a favorite.
Okay.
Good answer.
Good answer. All right. Crystal, you are a parenting expert, but this
Yes.
is, it's not just because you have 5 kids.
Right.
But because this is something that you've been studying for a long time. Well, how did you tie in faith-based and looking at biblical principles in order to decide that's how you wanted to be a parent?
Well, a lot of it actually started back with my mother doing research and when she was running into challenges with us and trying to understand if what she was being taught was really what was in the Bible, because a lot of it didn't sit right with her. And when I got older and went to get my master's in theology, and I started looking into some of the verses that are often thrown around and finding out either they weren't actually there or that's not what they meant.
The one that gets thrown on all the time, and you and I haven't talked about this ahead of time, you know it's coming. Spare
Yep.
the rod, spoil the child.
It's not in there.
It's not even in the Bible.
There is a verse that it says, he who spares the rod hates his child, but it has to do, sparing means setting aside, and it has to do with your authority. If you don't actually parent, you are showing that you don't love your child. And discipline means to teach. We have to teach our children. A lot of people think you either hit them or you do nothing. And either extreme isn't the best. You know, it's right in the middle where you're walking with them, modeling for them, teaching them. It's very active, hard work, lots of discipline.
So Fiona is the only daughter in this family. There's been a lot of responsibility on you as mom's doing her research to figure out what works and what doesn't.
Yeah.
Do you remember anything that mom has tried that you say, well, that doesn't work, that doesn't make me want to do what mom says?
Not really.
No, but what about the things, what does work? What kind of things can you think of that when she is approaching you and saying do this or don't do that, what's different about her approach maybe from your friends' parents?
Well, what my mom does is when she tells me to do something, that if I'm doing something I'm not supposed to, she just doesn't tell me to stop. She tells me to go and do something else.
Redirects?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. Rather than to just say don't do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that one of the principles?
That
you
is
picked up on
absolutely-
something specific?
Absolutely, because telling a child what not to do still leaves millions of possibilities. So if I want my child...
Well, you just hit it out of the park with that statement. And I'm immediately thinking, well, don't do that. Okay, there's a million other things I can do to get in trouble. Wouldn't it be better if you just told me what to do?
Right, and
Okay.
I say, you know, stop doing that, you need to do this, and I redirect them with what to do. If I have to, I stop and show them. One of the things I find a lot of parents do is they don't really have an awareness of development, child development, and a lot of people expect, like from a 2-year-old, way more than a 2-year-old can give. So I always say, if you wouldn't hire a 2-year-old babysitter, you probably shouldn't expect your 2-year-old to take care of themselves. And there's a reason they were given to bigger people to show them what to do.
So true. Now, I know we were going to do this segment. We had these lofty ideas. We were going to give people 5 tips and so forth. And of course, we're never going to get to that now because we've been sitting here chatting about this. But give us another, just a principle that you would pull directly from the Bible and say, look, this works for everybody. Even if you're not a Christian, even if you don't know anything about the Bible, here's a principle that works.
Right. I would say that one of the biggest things in Scripture, and it has to do with, like Jesus was with his disciples, and it has to do with modeling. If you want your child to do something, make sure you are doing it, because they are watching. And if you want your child to show you respect, you need to be respectful to them. If you want your child to learn how to apologize, you need to be willing to apologize to them. And if you are walking out your faith and walking out what you believe, your children will see it's genuine and they will walk it also.
So Fiona, as you're watching your mom and thinking about why you love her and why you care about her and appreciate her, Is there something that jumps out at you that lets you know your mom is special?
Well, she's able to talk to anyone, really. She has this thing where she's able to talk to anyone and she can tell them what's good and what's not.
And it sounds to me like it's not threatening. It sounds like
No.
it's just really easy to talk to her.
Yeah. She's really
Communication's
helpful.
got to be a big part of the key.
It is. It is. I actually had someone tell me one time, well, I see why you don't have to spank your children. You talk to them. And I said, well, shouldn't
Don't
everyone
you? Yeah.
shouldn't everyone talk to their kids?
Exactly. Well, I'm sure the book Grace-Based Living by Crystal Lutton talks about discipline as well at great length. And I will just say that I discovered after swatting my son one time that was not going to work with him as an infant. And so I made a decision consciously not to use corporal punishment of any kind. And it was just one of those things, not because I agreed or disagreed with it. I just knew it wasn't going to work.
Right.
Instinctually.
A lot of parents that I work with will come to me and they'll say either I can't do this, it doesn't sit right with me, or they'll say I'm going to beat my child to death. I need something that's more effective because they don't listen.
Right.
And a lot of it, a lot of the stuff is children grow out of things. Whether you spank them 100 times or redirect them 100 times, it's going to take 100 times. And then they turn the next age and you're just dealing with something else.
All right, folks. If you'd like a little help dealing with parenting, try Grace-Based Living, Crystal Lutton, and highly endorsed by Fiona. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, good. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Good to see you. It's at Amazon.com, I believe, right
yes,
now, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yep, Grace-Based Living at Amazon.com. All right, would you call your romantic relationship normal? Can it be better? Well, we're raising the normal bar, sharing how to build better, stronger relationships coming up next.